Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me on. Well, today I'm going to talk about the retirement crisis. This is the growing retirement crisis as more Americans reach retirement age without adequate savings. The reason I can speak on this is I've been in the business for 25 years. This is the website where I'm located. It's straighttalkwealth.com from the radio show that I had for about 10 years. 2007 to 2017, we were on several stations. I kind of pared it down. We are going to go back and do some live streaming and stuff. But these are, if you go through, this is our website and tell you a little bit about what we do. But if you come down here to the podcaster, this is where all the back shows are. And we've done a lot of them. Going back to, I don't know what we have on here, 2016. Oh gosh, I know we got more than that. Oh, see, they load bit by bit. Anyway, these probably go back to about 2010 on the podcaster. So we've been doing this well, 2011. But that is what you can see some success stories from our clients here. I've been in the business 25 years, basically helping baby boomers prepare for retirement. And that is something over life that goes through changes in terms of what you might be doing at one stage of life is not what you need to do at another stage of life, which is kind of what I want to talk about here on all of this is where this generation is. Now, this generation might be older than a lot of your viewers right now, but it's where they're headed if they don't prepare ahead of time, and it may well be where their parents are headed that they need to be thinking about maybe how to help their parents. I'm going to give you a few strategies, concerns about this. We're going to rapidly go through this. I will have an offer at the end of this of a very good publication I'm very proud of that you can order for free. It's called Principal Spend Down, a Slippery Slope in Retirement. Principal Spend Down in Retirement, Slippery Slope. And that is chock full of some very illustrated data why the baby boomers just won't retire successfully. Um, is this the face of our new economy, post-COVID economy, what to expect, cost of generating income retirement. So I'm going to have that available for you for free at the end of the presentation. All right, let's see here. Baby boomers face several major threats to retirement security, and programming's a little off on this in terms of animation, but we'll just carry on. Um, these include longer lifespans without adequate savings, decline in pensions and Social Security benefits, inadequate financial literacy, and rising healthcare costs. Proper planning and taking appropriate measures can help baby boomers have a more secure retirement, but they definitely have some challenges that their parents didn't have. So we'll see what's covered here. Seniors are unprepared. Most seniors have insufficient retirement savings. The median retirement savings for Americans aged 65 and older is only $58,000. That's the median, which is not enough to last decades of retirement. Now, there are people that have enough for retirement. There are people that are retired, and there are some that are living on Social Security only. It's an atrocious amount. This is like if you're poor, it's a year of income. So what's happening is there's a lot of people working at Starbucks and working at Walmart and a lot of other stuff where many seniors just aren't going to retire. Again, that's covered in my report, why the baby boomers are just not going to retire successfully. Social Security provides inadequate retirement income. The average monthly Social Security benefit was in 2021 was $1,543, which is usually not enough to cover basic living expenses. Pensions are disappearing. Only 17% of the private sector employees have access to pensions. A pension is where you worked for the company for so many years, you quit working, and they still send you checks because they promised you'd have a retirement benefit. 17% of private sector employees even have those anymore, compared to 38% of them in 1980. So that's leaving a lot of people with that source of retirement income. So most seniors lack the savings, pensions, and Social Security income that they're going to need to maintain their standard of living. They're not going to maintain their standard of living. Let's talk about savings. Only 55% of boomers have retirement savings. Kind of a repeat of that earlier stat, but in a different way. Recent report found 55% of baby boomers aged 56 to 74 have retirement savings. Okay? 55 have them, while 45% have no retirement savings at all. Therefore, it brings that median down to The average is about 58,000. Many lost savings over time. Nearly half the boomers with no savings had some savings earlier, but lost it due to unemployment or the stock market or other reasons. And savings won't last as long as they do. So, add to that people are living longer in retirement, so savings need to stretch further than the past generations. Significant number of baby boomers are approaching retirement with inadequate savings to maintain their standard of living. Many boomers underestimate retirement income needs. Boy, I can tell you that because they come in my office every day. So there's three phases of managing wealth to get there. And this is important. When it comes to your private savings, you're going to go through three phases. And there's different strategies for these things, but you need to recognize which one you're in. Are you in the accumulation phase? That just means you got to put money away, got to put it away, got to put it away. But when you get close to retirement, usually around age starting age 50, you get into 55. The goal is you have to preserve what you have. It's really key. When you're younger, you might have some losses, but you have long-term debt in order to grow it back. When you're middle age in your 50s, you got to preserve what you've done. You can't afford losses, or you will literally be pushing your retirement target age back year by year by year every time you go backwards. And the final stage is distribution, where you're now spending your money. So the accumulation phase is age 20 to 50. Accumulation phase is the period of your financial life when they are working, saving money, and investing for retirement. During this phase, individuals contribute to retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs and accumulate assets that can be drawn down later in retirement. Mistakes are one, locking up your funds until you're age 59 and a half. So this is a problem. I don't recommend putting all your money in IRAs and 401ks, because you can't touch that money till you're 59 and a half. Yes, you can borrow from it for a fee, but there's better ways to borrow your retirement savings for investing and things like that. So we're talking about liquidity needs. You don't have money available, and this would be a mistake in your accumulation phase to make sure that it doesn't stay liquid to you in some form so you can have future credit or borrowing needs against it. Don't make everything pre-tax. Don't have time to go into a whole lesson on this, but if you're looking at should I go IRA in order to not be taxed today and be taxed tomorrow, or Roth IRA in order to not be taxed tomorrow but be taxed today, basically the answer to that is, are you in a higher or lower bracket today than you will be tomorrow? If you're in a lower bracket today, you should not be using pre-tax unless your employer is going to add to it, contribute, and match you. Otherwise, don't do that. Invest in tax-free strategies. Pay the taxes today, because tomorrow, if you're going to be in a higher bracket, which most people are, their best earning years are later in life, that's the time to be tax-free. Warren Buffett, another factor here. Don't invest in things you don't understand. Impulse investing. That gets into trends and what's hip and whether this Bitcoin or that big money maker. And I can't count the number of young people I said, it's 1% a day you see going on right now. That can't last forever. No, this is special. The guys I know are really, really smart. Just don't invest in things you don't understand. All right, what is the preservation phase? Preservation phase focuses on maintaining wealth and assets during retirement. This involves strategies to protect savings. You're basically protecting your money at this stage. Distribution phase, what do you want to be doing? So this is where you're actually now spending your money. You want to be traveling, you want to just go get some peace, you want some togetherness, and for how long will you need your money to last is the most important and unanswerable question. How are you going to need that money to last 20 years? You need to last 10, 30? I mean, that's a big difference on how you have to be prepared. And if you don't know how long you're going to live, you have an unanswered piece of math there for your retirement plan. Retirement is like a long vacation in Las Vegas. The goal is to enjoy it to the fullest, but not so fully that you run out of money. Okay. Longer life expectancy is a thing. In 1940s, the average life expectancy was 68 years. So you go back to 1932 or so when they developed Social Security. It was like, yeah, you could start it at 62, full retirement age was 65, and the guy was dead by 68. This is why Social Security is in so much trouble. By the 1960s, the average life expectancy increased to 70 years, and it's now 78. But I want to give you an interesting stat, and it's something like this includes all ages. So it includes people that died when they were teenagers and babies and all that. But here's another stat to consider. Something like if you take a couple that have reached 65 years, so now you're starting with people that are currently 65, there's better than a 50% chance that one person in that couple is going to live into their 90s. So this is overall average life expectancy. But the more important way to look at it for retirement planners, this person in front of me is 65 years old. Now that they've made it that far, there's better than a 50% chance that one of the two people in this couple are going to live into their 90s. This is affecting another huge piece of the puzzle for seniors, which is healthcare costs. Healthcare costs rise with age, chronic conditions require ongoing care, and long term care is expensive. Long term care is where you're not going to get well, but you need to be cared for. Very, very expensive. I can tell you, I tell a story to my clients. My mom needed long term care for 14 years in the house. It cost at least $1.4 million. My dad never got any insurance for it and had to pay that out of pocket. He had passed away, so the estate did. So these things are also affecting seniors today in where I started with this, which is the retirement crisis. This is the cost of long-term care. Annual cost for a nursing home, $102,000. Just assisted living at home, $48,000. Home health aid, $50,000. So this is another that's just draining. There's a statement that goes around with the seniors, which is you spend your health obtaining wealth to simply, at the end of your life, spend all of your wealth keeping your health. Goes that way. So managing longevity risk, this is just another statement. These are the things that go into how long you're going to live. This is the greatest risk of seniors is they have to now make decisions based on a projected longevity of which they don't know what it's going to be. So when we do this, we look for guaranteed income sources. In other words, I want an income source that isn't based on spending my portfolio down and maybe I'll run out of money and how much should I spend? I want guaranteed sources that no matter what, that source is going to keep coming. There's basically three of them. One of it's to have a pension from the company. That is pooled risk among all the people that are retired. And so you get a pension. Some guys are going to die early, some guys are going to die late, but you're guaranteed a pension. Social Security is basically like that. So Social Security is another source. It's not a lot, but it is a guaranteed source. And a lot of people buy annuities these days. They also function in that way. When they buy annuity, they're basically buying sort of like their own private pension. These are the three sources we look at. This is just a slide. Again, I want to save time. We're running out of time here. This is so the fact that the Social Security is becoming more and more undependable for several reasons. There's something like I think by the year 2036, the trustees report has already said that they're going to have to cut benefits by 25% of everybody on Social Security if they don't find another way of funding it by 2036. So we have a lot of uncertainty there. Again, I said this was the retirement challenge, the retirement crisis. This is what I have to deal with every day. So when you're trying to generate, let's say somebody saves some money and they're trying to generate income out of that portfolio. There's a thing called yield. Yield is okay, you have $100,000 and you get a 5% yield means you get $5,000 a year coming off of that. So if you need $50,000 to live on and you're getting 5%, don't even dream of living that way unless you have $1 million to start with. And then if you don't, and what this is going to is you can't get yield and you can't go get bonds with enough yield, you can't get dividends off your stock with enough yield, you're going to be drawing down your principal. And that is a very slippery slope because you're drawing down. If you have less and less principal, every year that you're still trying to get yield, you can't get as much yield because there's not enough principal, not as much that was there as the year before. It is a slippery slope. That's what the report's about that I'm going to offer you here in a minute if you want to learn more about it. Thank you for your patience so far. I hope this was relevant in terms of looking into what the seniors are dealing with. Now, another thing that does kill their savings is market volatility. That's just a slide on that. So it also is reducing. These are the two factors that are the challenge in maintaining portfolios today. Do you get enough yield to actually support someone? And how do you keep it from burning up if the market crashes? Both of these can wipe a senior's plans out overnight if not managed well. Chance of a market crash the next 10 year, obviously, as time goes on and on and on, a market crash gets more and more likely. Right now, we are very much facing a potential recession because interest rates have gone so high and we haven't yet felt the repercussions of this. So we're also worried here about putting people in the market where they've got to make earnings. We got inflation, they got to make earnings, but put them somewhere where it's going to crash. I don't want to do that. Their solutions could be downsizing their housing, they could work longer, or they could try to cut their discretionary spending. I mean, that's kind of where they're going to be unless we have one thing here that is little known: longevity credits. Longevity credits are a factor when you go to buy one of these pensions. Let's say you try to buy a guaranteed income. What I'm talking about is someone might put a few $100,000 into an account and they're going to spend all that money to zero. But the account can be kind of geared to last as long as they're supposed to live. And the older they are when they start it, the bigger the payment's going to be because that's how longevity credits work. And then if they run out of money and they're still alive, the flip side of that is that the companies that provide these will continue to give them a payout even if nothing is left in the account. And that's all about longevity credits and how they work. Now, that is covered in my report. It is a special offer, principal spend down booklet, free copy. If you want to learn more about this, you want to learn how longevity credits work, you want to learn what this retirement crisis is and how we're getting people through it. You might be too young to worry about it right now, but you might want to get this report for your mom and dad, and you might want to just get it so you kind of know what the future looks like. You can go to straighttalkwealth.com, which is my website, straighttalkwealth.com /spend hyphen down hyphen report. Spend down report with hyphens between the words. So that's straighttalkwealth.com spend hyphen down hyphen report. Spend hyphen down hyphen report. And you can, there's a form there. You can order the report. We will send you a printed copy if you want to leave your mailing address. We will pay the postage on it, or you can get a digital copy, however you want it. I think it's about 40 some odd pages, maybe 30. I wrote it. I illustrate these things so a high school sophomore can read them. You can also put your email in the chat box. Put your email in the chat, and we will recover all of those, and I will send you the landing page for this. Thanks for your time. I hope this was informative. A lot to cover. I just wanted to talk real fast, and back to you.